Good morning, everyone. It's your favorite host, Damilola Abodunrin, and you know what it is? It is the motivation timeout, and it's always my pleasure to be doing this on Monday and Wednesday morning. I'm sorry we had to come a little behind schedule, and we are 6 minutes past 6 right now. But yes, we'll rush it up as quick as we can. So yes, we started talking on perspectives for the month of July, and precisely the theme for the month of July is put a twist on it. That's what we've been addressing for the month of July. And we said putting a twist on it means changing your approach to that particular thing, changing your approach to something, just putting a little bit of twist, a little bit of twerk to that thing that you've been doing before. So we are changing that routine, we are changing the way you used to approach that same issue, we are changing the way you used to think about that same issue, we are changing the way you view that same issue. So the theme for the month of July is put a twist on it. But this particular week we have a sub-theme, and the sub-theme is perspectives. And for the past 3 episodes now, we've been treating perspectives on the in-depth level. We've treated how you should help construct your perspectives positively, and we'll still be continuing on that same note today. I said that perspective is the way you view life. Your perspective is the way you see things. So that is, in other words, if you want to change the way things are, you will see them from the right way. You wonder how people in our climb around here will struggle to tell people thank you after they rendered a service to us. We feel once we have made a payment for that service, you are not supposed to say thank you again to the person. Or probably you struggle and you hear we should be professional with our conduct. Once I am done offering the service, we are done offering the service. There's no point saying thank you to you again, and all of that. But even if you have paid for the service, did you pay for the person's value? So saying thank you, valuing people, respecting people, praising their effort will not cost you anything. It only makes enough appreciation go round. It makes enough gratitude go round, and one way or the other it will affect and it would help shape the perspectives of things around us. So we're going into another week. We are into another week already, and today is Wednesday. It's the midweek. How well has things been working out for you? And what are you looking at for the remaining part of the week? Those are questions that we need to start asking ourselves. Now, those things that you are looking out to, have they started adding up? If they've not started adding up, what are the things that are left for you to add up? Are you focusing on the focus? And what is the focus? That's Larry Lushola's line. He says focus on the focus. And what is the focus? The focus is to get the right results out. And how do you want to get the right results out? Is by putting the right amount of effort in. And how do you want to put the right amount of effort in to get the right results? Is by putting the right perspective in place. So you need to focus on the focus this week. Even if you at a point in time, or at some point in time, you already lost the focus, or at some point in time, the gaze that the view that you were supposed to give to that particular situation, you've not given it to it 100%, or probably you've given it 100% of the view you're supposed to give it, but somehow, some way, somehow, it's not just adding up yet. It's not enough for you to say you want to call it quit. No, it's not enough for you to say you want to call it quit. I think all you need to do is just to put a twist on it. And how do you put a twist on it? You change that perspective. You change the words you speak to that situation. You change the angle at which you view that situation, because it starts with you. The choice to change the way you think about a particular thing, the choice to change the way you speak about a particular thing, the choice to view that particular incident or that particular situation from a different perspective is yours to make. How do I mean? The choice is yours to make. So how do I mean? It means that at the end of the day, the more you dwell on the past, the harder it is for you to step into the future. So how does it work? You are dwelling on those things that you've done during the course of the week, probably the success or the failures of the course of the week. So that's from Monday and Tuesday, and it's hindering you, it's barring you from doing the things that you should do ahead. Then it's going to affect your productivity. So you need to understand that you need to change that perspective. You need to put a twist on that perspective. If you had been successful on Monday, successful on Tuesday, and you want to be successful Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you don't have to dwell on the success of Monday and Tuesday. If you've not been successful at that particular project for Monday and Tuesday, doesn't mean you will not be successful on that project Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All what you just need to do is just, change that perspective. Change the view that you have to that particular thing. So the first half of the year didn't add up as much as we wanted it to be. We had we had the COVID break paralyzing the first half of the year. But does it change the fact that the second half of the year can be better? Just like having football players on a pitch, they get to, once it's halftime and they go into the locker room and their coach gets to talk to them and he motivates them and he does all of that. And when they get out on the field, they have another 45 minutes to change the way that game has been by changing their orientation, by changing their perspective, by changing their mindset. So this is this month of July, and yes, you had January to June, it didn't add up. What's going to happen to July to December? Have you taken time to reflect on the reasons why it didn't add up? Do you think it can add up? Have you positioned yourself from that angle that yes, it would add up? Can you visualize the positives? Can you plan on changing your routine? Can you take conscious effort to ensure that that perspective is changed? Those are questions that you need to start asking yourself now as we go forward. I need to also mention that you need to understand that just like a football match, until the final whistle is blown, the winner or the loser is not decided. You see teams overturn 4-0, 4-0 deficit as at first 45 minutes, in the second 45 minutes. You see teams that probably struggle through the whole game, in extra time they are banging goals as much as they can. It's about the tactical approach. It's about the perspective of the players. It's about the perspective of the coach. So far you are still living. You have every opportunity to change your perspective. You have every privilege to change your views. You have every opportunity to do it right. You have every opportunity to set that focus on the focus and hit the target. You can, you will, but you need to know that yes, you can do it. I know it starts by having the right mindset. It starts by having the right perspective to that particular issue. So just like we have battling with talking about perspectives, perspective is like looking at somebody positioning the number 6, that's 6, and somebody else standing at the position of number 9. Now I'm going deeply into perspective now. So somebody stands at position 6 and 6 like 6, and somebody stands at position 9 and sees 9 as 9. So what happens to perspective? If you are having the right perspective to something, or if you are tending to put somebody else's perspective into your reasoning, you would give the person the opportunity of doubt or benefit of doubt to invert the 6 to 9 or invert the 9 to 6. What do I mean? That means you can literally see from that person's perspective. That means you can see from that person's angle. So in other words, I put it this way. I said, the more objective you are with your perspective, the more positive your life could be. The right perspective helps you to build the right relationships, and it starts by having objectivity to your views. So if you have negative perspective, you block objectivity. And when you block objectivity, you have the wrong set of relationships. And when you have the wrong set of relationships, you most likely might have the wrong things adding up around you, because you can't leave the world alone. You need the next person next door. You need the next person next to you to be able to have the party of the world go round. So in other words, what am I saying? I'm saying that as much as you can, learn to welcome other people's perspectives into your wisdom. Learn to be objective when you are seeing things. Because the person that is seeing 6 as 6 would definitely not want to change his perspective if he remains adamant on the fact that all I can see is 6. And the other person that is seeing 9 as 9 would obviously not want to also change his perspective if he stays on 9. But the choice, the decision, the tendency to want to give other people an opportunity or giving other people a benefit of doubt starts with you. And that's your willpower. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody will do that for you. You are the one that will do it for yourself. So the objectivity to allow you see 6 as 9 comes when you give the person that is on the 9 corner to come to 6, and you allow your own self live from 6 to 9. So that is, you are changing your view to that particular situation. That is, you are changing your angle to that particular situation. And yes, you can, but you just have to make that choice. So I tell people, and there's a way I used to coin it. I say that the choice not to change before now. I understand that it might be beyond you, or you might not be able to change things that have happened to you before now. But what I don't understand is your refusal to change how things will go on from now. So that's how perspective works. That's how it works. So your decision not to welcome other people's ideas, your decision not to welcome other people's thoughts, probably because they failed you at a particular instance, probably because something didn't add up for you at a particular instance, is not enough for you to say you should never be able to welcome other people's perspectives. Because the more you block out objectivity from your perspectives, the harder it is for you to view life from a different angle. So you need to remember that until the final whistle is blown, you still have an opportunity to change that situation. You have an opportunity to change the task, just like a football match. It's the second half of the year. It's another opportunity for you to set it right. And yes, you can set it right, but it starts off by you changing your perspective to that particular situation. So the future, I put something here talking about the future and the past. The future tells you that the future tells you a line. It says you can, in spite of what has been done before now. That is, the future tells you keep your hopes alive. You can, in spite of whatever it is that has been done before now. But what the past tells you is, the past tells you you can't because of the things you have done before now. So if you got that very well, the future tells you you can, in spite of whatever it is you have done before now. But the past tells you you can't because of what you have done before now. So the choice to stick to one side of the divide is what would help you push ahead in this week, this half of the year, and in this month. So are you staying with the category of thought that says that you can't because of what you've done? You can't because you've not been able to do this? Or you're going to forge ahead and change your dimension, change your perspective, change your mindset to the you can in spite of what has been done. So the fact that something has been done is not changed. The fact that you've not done those things has not changed. But what will change is your decision to still forge ahead and do the right thing. It's your decision to change your perspective. So it is your responsibility to put a twist on it. Nobody will do that for you. Your failure to do that is your failure to get results. But your readiness to do that is your willingness to accept responsibility, forge ahead, and get the right result. So be objective enough. Then, as I wrote something here that the beautiful thing about perspective is that it is subject to change. Perspective is not static. So the decision to alter that perspective, the decision to change that perspective depends on you. In Latin word, perspective just simply means looking through something. So your decision to look through that particular situation, the decision to take your focus off the problems and get the solutions is dependent on you. So your decision to change the way things are now is dependent on you. So this is not about trying to motivate you or trying to inspire you to see things from a different angle. This is about me knowing that yes, you can see things from a different angle, but you need to keep your focus on trying to see things from that angle, or else that result will not come. That result will not add up. Then I also put this, I jot this down also in my book. I said things won't get better until you get better. Your perspective won't get better until you get better. Until you decide to get better, until you make conscious effort to get better, your perspective won't get better. So things won't change until you get better. Then, like I started, learn to praise people's effort, appreciate people, respect people, value people. It's not going to cost you anything if you get to say thank you or sorry to people. It takes you nothing. It takes you nothing. It takes you nothing to say thank you or sorry to somebody. You offended somebody, something is not going on right, somebody raised an eyebrow about a particular issue. Just say sorry. Accept responsibility and let leave. Show gratitude to people. Put a smile on somebody's face. It helps change your perspective. It helps change the perspective of people around you. So you want a better space? Are you ready to get better? You want a better perspective? Are you ready to change that perspective? Now, talking about perspective, your goal is not to get rid of the negative thoughts, because the negative thoughts, the negative perspectives would always come. It's a natural. Negatives would always find a way of creeping into your environment. But your own responsibility is to change your response to that negative thought. Your own responsibility is to change your response to that negative perspective. And the only focus here is to focus on the result. And the way we are focusing on the result is to focus on the right perspectives. Those results are achievable. But would you even give a chance? Would you give objectivity a chance? Would you give a second thought a chance? Would you give changing that view, changing the way things look like? Would you give it a chance? Would you even give would you give the slightest of opportunity to tweak that your regular autopilot mode? Because you desire to get that result. The results you are getting are not hard enough. The results you are even getting are hard enough too. You still need to put a little twist on it to ensure that you can sustain that success, or you can change that failure pattern. So I went on this note that you need to learn to focus on your focus. And the focus is the right perspective. The focus is the right result. As you go out this week, as you continue your projects this week, I want you to know that that result is achievable. That desired result is something that you can get. That desired result is something that in fact, the success is already next door. All you need to do is open the door that links you to the next room. And it starts by changing your perspective. It starts by having the right perspective. So visualize the result. Put your efforts intact to get that result. Even if that result is not adding up yet, you have learned the lessons of the reasons. You have learned the lessons as regards the reasons why that result has not shown up thus far. Apply those lessons that you've learned. Look into the lessons that you've learned. Then, straight up, focus on how you want to use those lessons consistently to get the result. You can get the right perspective. You can fix your perspective. You can change your perspective. The choice to do any of these three is yours. So I hope this midweek you get to pick the right choice. The choice to change your perspective. The choice to put a twist on your perspective. The choice to be objective. The choice to show gratitude to people. The choice to praise people. The choice to value people. The choice to know that everything is achievable if you set your goal on it. You should consciously, I'll leave you with this SCCH. What's SCCH? Stop complaining and seek happiness consciously. SC, stop complaining. SCH, consciously seek happiness. I come again. SC, stop complaining. CH, consciously seek happiness. So I'll leave you on that note this week. Till I see you next week on your favorite show, The Motivation Timeout. And I'll remain your favorite host. Thank you to our Instagram viewers. Thank you to my Facebook viewers. Please do well to share, like, and pass your comment on these videos. I hope that you have a super amazing and splendid day ahead. Remember to always put a smile on it. Like my friend Akeji John would usually say, even when situations are not going on well, he would just smile. Even when situations are hard enough, he will still smile. Smile, smile, and smile. So I wish you a splendid day ahead. I love you so much. Change that perspective, put a twist on that perspective, and get the desired result that you seek. Thank you.